chipping. If you can get really good at this, you're going to save yourself a hell of a lot of shots when you're playing out on the golf course. When it comes to this, you need to play the right shot at the right time. Well, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this and the things that you need to focus on when hitting this shot. So let's get stuck in. This is Nick Does Golf. Hey golfers, and welcome back to another video here on my channel Nick Does Golf. Today's video is all about chipping, and you could really do with getting good at this if you want to save yourself a hell of a lot of shots in and around those greens. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly the things that you need to be looking at when playing these shots, and also the things that you need to consider depending on the shot that you need to play. So let's go! Firstly, there's a few things that you do need to consider before you even execute that shot. You need to work out the sort of shot that you want to be playing. What is the easiest option for you? And that all comes down to your club selection. For example, if your ball is just off and you've got quite a lot of green to work with, it might be worth taking a club with less loft on it, so you can get the ball running as soon as possible. The more time the ball spends in the air, the more that could possibly go wrong. There's two shots that we're going to be focusing on today, the chip and run and the normal chip shot. Let's start with the first one, the chip and run. The chip and run is fairly simple, and if you've got a lot of green to work with, this is an ideal shot. There are a few things that you need to change within your setup. If you want to get the ball rolling as quickly as possible, you're going to take a less lofted club. You're going to put the ball towards the back of your stance. The hands are going to be forwards, you're going to grip down on the club from there, and then you're just going to make a nice short swing. Your lower body stays nice and quiet. Your hands are always going to stay in front of the ball so you can get that nice downward strike onto the ball, and you're not really considering the bounce of the golf club. You're just getting that ball forwards, nudging it onto the green so it can roll out to a good distance. If we look from a down the line perspective, but we're looking from this angle, my feet are going to be a fraction open to the target. This is just so I can give myself enough space and enough room to swing my arms nice and gently. We're not going to be swinging very aggressively. We're going to take it back nice and slow with a gentle acceleration, keeping those hands in front of the ball. There's no twist with the hands either way as we come through. We're going to keep them nice and neutral, getting the back of our hand pointing towards the target for as long as possible. Just like this. Now I'm going to be moving on to the normal chip shot. Really, you're going to be tending to play this with a bit more loft. So for example, I've got my 56 degree here, and there's a few things that you might want to change. You can play this club with the same tactics with the chip and run. Obviously it's going to come out a bit higher so you can have it to the back of your stance, or you could come a little bit higher with it in relation to your left foot, and you can still play a higher chip and run. Obviously it's not going to really look like one because you've got more loft on it and the ball's going to come out higher, but this is still an option. Now for these sort of standard chip shots, we want to be using the bounce a little bit more for this. So how do we do that? Well, if you were to set up normally for a standard probably 20-30 yard chip shot, we're going to be setting up fairly neutral. We can have our ball position back, front, depending on the ball flight that we need, but we need to make sure that the club is returning to its original position at address. So we don't want our hands too far forwards because the leading edge is going to dig in. It's going to be inconsistent strikes with that. So we need to make sure that our hands are pretty much vertical from here. Then we just need to make sure that we can return that golf club to this position as we come through the hitting zone. We're going to have a hell of a lot more control, and hopefully we'll get the decent distance that we need. What we can do is we can also drop the club a fraction. This is also going to help us to use the bounce of the golf club a little bit more, and then we're going to make sure we just return that club to where it is. So let's give that a go. Oh, nearly got it. So making sure that we get really good at this shot and practice the different types of shots that we need around the green depending on where the flag is and the gradients and the different slopes. Take all of this into consideration before you select the club and the shot that you want to play. I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be so much better off if you can do this, and you'll see those scores tumble. So if you found that video useful on chipping, make sure you hit the like button, ding, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what sort of things do you focus on whilst chipping and what works well for you. I'd love to know. If you haven't done so already and you're just joining us for this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me on this journey and this series so I can help you improve your game. As well as that, make sure you check out my social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok so you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing. Have some fun, interact with me, I'd love to hear from you. So get to work on that chipping. Thanks very much for watching and see you all on the next one.